bulungi ssebo nsibye teeyo.
Bawasibye bulungi ekisinga.
Webale tusomesa.
Gezaako munnaye.
I'm so attentive because yampisiza si bulungi.
Gigi yakuyisiza si bulungi. Let's look at it. So, in our last forecast video, I was forecasting this guy to shoot up, and it did it. So it shot up. Now, something that we had to watch out for. We said every time price breaks a swing high, we expect a pullback to come back inside of the range, but we can't tell pullback again happening when. So we can't tell when shall the pullback happen, but we know that we shall have the pullback. So we are always facing that issue. I think, let me invite over these, but after I shall have to kick them out. But no, I can leave it. So, whenever price takes out swing highs, we expect a pullback, but we can't tell when shall that pullback happen. So in this case, I was anticipating it to take out that previous swing high, and it was acting as our final take profit. And you can see price hit it very nicely, ensuring that we got out with 205 pips. So I was hoping for a pullback, but there is no way that I could know that the pullback is going to happen now. So remember, I said to confirm my high, I need something like this, a bearish QM. Now once price gets outside of the range, now this is my low. Let me make it fit. This is my low, but I haven't gotten my high. We said price has to come back within the range, at least targeting the equilibrium. But I have to look out for the bearish QM. When I get that bearish QM, I shall have confirmed my range. So I have to drop to the lower time frames. I switched actually multiple time frames. Here I had to find out that structure. So when I zoom in inside here, I have to focus at this price action. You know, I'm in the 15-minute time frame, but I'm looking for that bearish QM, something like this, to confirm my high that I'm going to base on to return inside of the range. So I want to look at a point where price took out a swing high and even a swing low. So far you already see this. This was a swing high. Price broke past it. This was a swing high and price broke past it. And it even took out this swing low. I hope you all remember those three candle formations that we always talk about. So it originated from this, shot up, came back down, took out the swing high, and even came back taking out the swing low. So it can't always be perfect the way you want it, but it shall bring out what you've been waiting for. So this is my bearish QM. This is the same as this. No need to argue about that. So once I've gotten it, it means I've confirmed my strong eye, and I'm very okay to bring my line and put it here as my high of the range. Remember, once price took out the previous swing eye, we are expecting a pullback inside of the range so that we can resume the buys to continue the trend. So I have my high and I have my low here. So I have to drop to the 5 minutes. This is why I always say we have to be flexible with multiple time frames. So in the 5 minutes, I see something so close here. Smart money traders, supply and demand traders, plus some ICT traders would have looked at this nice supply zone, and they could have looked for sales at this zone, but I'm not one of them. So they could have had their stop loss just above. They had their sniper entry targeting these lows, but me, I couldn't do this. I knew this had to be an inducement. They can't give you something like this. They can't. So I had to look for something. Not this. I'm not interested in this. They can't give you this thing that's really too obvious like this. You don't just give out money like that. So once I notice this, I shall mark it as my inducement. I shall draw my line there. So I look for a point of interest just above it. We said our point of interest we could use breaker blocks, candle wicks, and imbalance field price actions, even sometimes order blocks. Even we also use those supply zones and demand zones, but we have to make sure they all have our confirmations. So I could look at this candle wick, but it was already mitigated. This candle wick had tapped into it, and not only that, it was acting as liquidity because the trend line could fit there. So my focus also wasn't on this, meaning I had to choose a point of interest above that. So I had this candle just above. So it could act as my point of interest. It's even near my strong eye. So as others were entering from here, I could take my entry from here. To be safe, you can put your stop loss above the strong eye or just here. Now after getting your entry in the 5 minutes, remember our guys, they already got stopped out from here. So price gave them a few pips, and after later on it took them out. So came up and triggered us, and it has to roll in our way. So I can go to the higher time frame. Remember always these time frame intentions, that once we get a drop inside of the range again, it shall at least target the equilibrium. So the whole of this move from here down up here up, we can consider it as one move, and we can have the range. So we say this drop can drop up to the equilibrium. So my safest target could be the equilibrium. Why is it the equilibrium? I am just scalping because I know the overall direction we are bullish. So if we are bullish, it means this sell has to be a scalp. So you can see the scalp trade was worth 175 pips. Then after hitting that TP, I could look out for a possible entry point below the equilibrium. So I hope you all remember the other video that I did about the Asian midline. So it was the concept that we could use here to get this buy. This buy was also tradable. I had marked this Asian range in the previous trading days, so I had to use the midline of that Asian range. So I got it like this, marked the low of that Asian range and the high of that Asian range, and I could get this entry. Remember, price was already below the equilibrium, so I was very okay to buy. So I could buy taking price higher. So that's how I could get the buy, get the scalp sell, and get the buy again by just keeping in mind the higher time frame intentions, because every time frame has its own intention. Even if you couldn't use this midline, by just measuring this long candle wick, you could still get that entry, the equilibrium of that candle wick. We shall reach there. I don't want to confuse you yet. I shall show you the reasons as to why I also have my focus on these candle wicks. I shall surely show you. And why do they play out? Usually these long candle wicks are formed during news, so they always have a lot of confluences within them. So this buy was very tradable by just considering this Asian midline. The same video that I uploaded even to the public Telegram channel. So we can see this buy. It's already 105 pips without using any indicator. So it's all about knowing where price is heading to and making sure that we take advantage of it. So we had this buy. The sell have showed you that even the sell was tradable, and even this buy. So no magic within, no magic in between actually. I've always been talking about it, that every time we break a swing high, we expect a pullback, but we can't tell when. So we have to look for more confirmations to have that pullback within the range, and after resume the overall direction of the market move. Faith.
Yes, please.
Faith, is this worth it?
Yes. I missed on the entry point for the buys.
Oh, sorry, but it was very tradable from this Asian midlife.
Mm.
Yeah, we just have to keep our eyes open. And we have to put a lot of time in backtesting. That's why whenever I'm free, I have to make sure that I'm backtesting because it's the only way we can get better. Steve, waliwo abantu besuuliranga nako nga boogera. So this was it for Gbpjpy. So only these three
What
trades.
if you
Douglas,
consider that week, that long week?
this candle week.
Hello?
You mean this candle week? Yes. It could also give us a perfect entry with a tight stop loss actually. You couldn't risk the whole of this zone, so you could minimize it with just its equilibrium. And you could have something like this. Something like this. So you remove the zone, and you have something like this without having a very big stop loss. And you could get a precise entry which goes your way. So you could actually consider this candle week because even it was within the Asian midline. So I hope this is insightful.
Yeah.
So I can continue and upload it so that others can also learn something from it. But the other session I won't upload it. The other one is ours. That's why it was too long. Though we started late, but I think someone can learn something from this. People who followed our outlook on Gbpjpy last week, they could make some money, but abamu balina emputtu. So that's it. Tulabagane olulala. Baluba lwa nkya.